5 things you should never share with anyone. There are moments in life when silence protects you more than words ever could. Not everything you know needs to be spoken. Not everything you feel needs an audience. And not every part of your life needs to be explained. Wisdom is not about how much you share. Wisdom is about knowing what to keep to yourself. We live in a world that celebrates transparency. We are told to be open, to be vulnerable, to share our stories, and while there is beauty in authenticity, there is also danger in overexposure. Because not everyone who listens cares. Not everyone who asks is genuinely concerned. And not everyone who knows your truth will protect it. Learning what to protect is one of the most valuable lessons life will ever teach you. It is not about building walls or becoming cold. It is about understanding that your energy, your plans, your struggles, and your peace are sacred. And sacred things deserve protection. The first thing you should never share with anyone is your next move. When you talk too much about what you plan to do, you invite unnecessary opinions, doubts, and energy that does not belong to your journey. Some people will discourage you. Some will compete with you. Some will silently hope you fail. Not because they are bad, but because your growth reflects their own stagnation. There is something powerful about moving in silence. When you announce your goals too early, you scatter your focus. You begin to seek validation before you have earned results. You open yourself to criticism before you have built resilience. And worse, you allow others to plant seeds of doubt in soil that should only grow confidence. Work quietly. Let results speak. Success announced too early often collapses under pressure. The world does not need to know what you are building until it is strong enough to stand on its own. Dreams are fragile in their early stages. They need protection, not exposure. Share your vision with those who have proven they want to see you win, and keep the rest between you and your effort. There is also a spiritual dimension to this. When you speak about something before it has materialized, you release energy that should be contained and directed toward action. Words have power, but premature words can drain the very momentum you need to succeed. Let your work do the talking. Let your discipline write the story. And when the time is right, your success will announce itself. The second thing you should protect is your weak moments. Pain shared with the wrong people does not heal you. It exposes you. Not everyone listening to your struggle is rooting for your recovery. Some collect your vulnerabilities to use them later. Some listen not to support, but to judge. Some take mental notes of your breaking points so they know exactly where to press when it benefits them. This does not mean you should never be vulnerable. Vulnerability is essential for connection and healing, but it must be placed in the right hands. Choose carefully who earns access to your wounds. Healing needs safety, not sympathy. It needs understanding, not gossip. It needs people who will hold your pain with care, not turn it into entertainment or ammunition. When you are going through something difficult, the instinct is often to reach out, to talk, to find relief in being heard. But relief is temporary if the listener is unreliable. True support does not just listen, it protects what it hears. It does not repeat your story. It does not minimize your struggle. It does not compare your pain to someone else's or turn your moment of weakness into a lesson about what you should have done differently. Guard your emotions like you would guard a child. Not everyone is qualified to handle them. Not everyone has the maturity, the empathy, or the intention to honor what you share. And once something is spoken, it can never be unheard. Once a vulnerability is exposed, it can never be fully hidden again. So speak carefully, share wisely, and reserve your deepest struggles for those who have proven they deserve that trust. The third thing you should never overshare is your financial situation. Whether you have little or a lot, money invites judgment, comparison, envy, and expectation. When people know too much, they start counting what you should give, how you should live, and what you owe them. Money is one of the most emotionally charged topics in human relationships. It reveals insecurity, triggers competition, and exposes character. When you share that you are struggling financially, some people will pity you, others will feel superior. Some will offer help with strings attached, and a few will use that knowledge to diminish your voice or devalue your worth. On the other hand, when you share that you are doing well, envy creeps in. Suddenly, your success becomes a measuring stick for someone else's failure. Your blessings become a reminder of what they lack. And instead of celebrating with you, they begin to calculate what they think you owe them, whether that is money, time, opportunities, or explanation. Financial peace grows in privacy. Stability loves silence. The less people know about your money, the less they can project onto it. You do not owe anyone an explanation for how you earn, how you save, or how you spend. Your financial decisions are yours alone. Protect that space. Let your bank account be a private conversation between you and your goals, not a public display for judgment or expectation. This also protects your relationships. Money has destroyed more friendships and families than almost anything else. Not because money itself is evil, but because people's relationship with it is complicated. When financial details are kept private, relationships can remain pure. Generosity becomes a choice, not an obligation. Support becomes genuine, not transactional. The fourth thing to keep private is your family problems. Every family has struggles. But when you turn personal matters into public conversations, you weaken trust and deepen wounds. Outsiders only hear one version. They rarely understand the full truth. And once you have spoken about your family to someone outside of it, you have shifted the dynamic in a way that is difficult to undo. Family issues are complex. They are layered with history, emotion, unspoken agreements, and deep-rooted patterns. When you bring an outsider into that complexity, they form opinions based on incomplete information. They take sides. They offer advice that may not fit your reality. And even if they mean well, they cannot fully understand the nuance of relationships they are not part of. Some issues are meant to be solved within walls, not discussed outside them. This does not mean you suffer in silence if there is abuse or harm. Those situations require intervention and support. But everyday conflicts, misunderstandings, and family tensions are best handled internally or with a professional who is trained to navigate them. When you publicly air family grievances, you also hurt the people involved, even if they never hear what you said. Because eventually, things get back. And even if they do not, you have changed how others perceive your family. You have planted seeds of judgment that can never be fully uprooted. Protect your family's dignity, even when they frustrate you. Honor the privacy of your home, even when it feels heavy. The fifth thing you should never share freely is your self-doubt. Everyone has it. But repeating it aloud to the wrong people strengthens it. Some will reinforce your fears instead of helping you rise above them. Self-doubt is already loud enough in your own mind. It does not need an echo chamber. When you speak your doubts to people who do not believe in you, you give those doubts more power. You hear them reflected back, validated, confirmed, and suddenly what was just a fleeting fear becomes a belief. What was just a moment of weakness becomes a permanent narrative. Speak your doubts only where they will be challenged, not confirmed. Share them with people who will remind you of your strength, not agree with your limitations. Surround yourself with voices that call you higher, not ones that keep you small. Your mind becomes what it hears most often. So be intentional about what you allow into that space. This is not about toxic positivity or pretending everything is fine. It is about being strategic with your vulnerability. It is about knowing that some conversations build you up and others tear you down, even when they seem harmless. Silence is not secrecy. Silence is strategy. It allows you to move with clarity, strength, and focus. When you stop explaining yourself, you conserve energy. When you stop oversharing, you gain control. You begin to realize that not every question deserves an answer. Not every opinion deserves a response. And not every relationship deserves access. Not everyone deserves a front row seat to your life. Some people are meant to see the outcome, not the process. They are meant to witness the result, not the struggle. And that is okay. You do not owe anyone a behind-the-scenes tour of your journey. Protect your peace. Guard your growth. Choose silence when words cost too much. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. Sometimes the greatest strength is in what you keep to yourself. And sometimes the deepest wisdom is knowing that you do not have to prove anything to anyone. Your life is yours, your story is yours, your journey is yours. Share it selectively, protect it fiercely, and move forward with the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are in control of your own narrative.